Is there a possibility to sell our lead magnet function as a SaaS in today's market? Or not? Let's run through my SMAF, or SaaS Market Analysis Framework. Based on that analysis, we can decide if we can possibly make profitability or if we need to make changes in order to find our customers. Yes. Looking into the economy after the function is already built is not the recommended way to go if making money with a SaaS is what you're after. But as I do this as a hobby, as long as I do it before I launch, it is okay. What can I say? I like making things. Step 1. List the competition. We start off by listing who is providing a similar function, what functionality they are providing, and what is their price point. I looked at the following: MailChimp, Kajabi, ConvertKit, and Flowdesk. Step 2. Compare functionalities. How do we compare our functionality to MailChimp's? The email harvesting on MailChimp is limited to 2,500 contacts. They have templates for landing pages and emails. MailChimp does so much more for sending emails to your send list. Also when it comes to sales and keep connection with your customers. So how do we compare our functionality with Kajabi? Their email harvesting is limited to 10,000 contacts. They have templates and unlimited amounts of landing pages. Kajabi is focused on coaching and education, with so much more features in video and live sessions. How do we compare our functionality to ConvertKit? Their email harvesting is limited to 1,000 contacts, unlimited amounts of landing pages and templates. ConvertKit focuses on handling email communities, digital asset sales, and funnel automation. Finally, how do we compare our functionality to Flowdesk? Flowdesk has no limitation on number of contacts, landing pages, or templates. Flowdesk focuses on growing email lists and handling them, and potentially combined with digital asset sales. So in conclusion, we provide a basic service that others are already providing. Step 3. Comparing prices. So what is the price of email harvesting using MailChimp? It is $0. And what is the price of email harvesting using Kajabi? $119. But that includes hosting 3 digital courses. What is the price of email harvesting using ConvertKit? $0. And finally, what is the price of doing email harvesting using Flowdesk? $35 a month. And that includes segmentation and email automation. Based on this, we can charge about $0 a month for this service. If we implement more features like multiple landing pages, personal templates for landing pages and emails, statistics reporting, multi-user support, and probably some more, we could possibly reach about $5 a month. Step 4. List the costs. Now, what will be the cost of running this Django server? I have looked at the following hosting services and done an estimation for each: Google Amazon, Heroku, and Linode. Looking at Google, you can deploy a Django app in 5 ways on Google. But if you only want to pay for what you use, there are 2 ways: Cloud Run and App Engine standard environment. And in this case, we want to deploy it as an app and not as a container. Having 50 gigs using Cloud Run, the disks will cost about $220 a month for 50 gigs of storage, and the CPU will be for free. If we are using App Engine standard, the disk will be cheaper, $117 a month for the same 50 gigs. Also here, the CPU will be free. Amazon offers uncountable services, but they recommend deploying Django apps in light sale or EC2. Using light sale, the cost will be $13-17 a month, and that is using 40 gigs of space. You can also deploy this using EC2, but that will have the same cost. Next in line, we have Heroku. Now, I couldn't find any information or support for MongoDB on Heroku, so I don't have a price for that one. And finally, we looked into Linode. Linode has many levels of upgrades. What we gone for here was the basic tier. The CPU here will cost $5 a month, and the data cost will be $15 a month for 1 gig. If we need to increase the storage from that, the cost increases quite fast. So unless I have missed anything fundamental, we should go with Google App Engine standard environment for the rest of this budget, with Amazon Light Sail as the runner-up. Hosting aside, we also need to look at what other costs we have, and for instance, advertising. We are competing with established players here. To get to a figure, I looked into Facebook ads. For $145 a day, they claim that you reach about 350 to 1,000 ad clicks, and that should lead to about 24 to 68 accesses to your landing page. If we estimate that about 10% of those become a customer, we get about 2 to 7 customers a day for $145. This estimation is really rough in the making, but it's the best we have for now. This will also probably need quite a lot of tuning before it works. Finally, we need to look into the cost of having an email for this business as well. Google will charge you $5 a month for having an email for this business, but that also includes the entire Google suite. On a second stage, we can say that Amazon has a simple email service that charges you 2 cents a month for 200 mails per month. If you find interest in this video, do like and subscribe so it can spread to more interested people. Thank you. Step 5. The conclusions. Now it's time to start plotting number of users towards the result we get with our incomes and our costs. And that will give us a hint about how many customers do we need before we start to break even. In this plot, we see the number of users in the x-axis, and we have the estimated result on the y-axis. And when the curves crosses the 0 point, that is when we break even. So the green and the blue curve, that is both the Google and Amazon hosting without using any ads. And we don't need many customers for that. But if we add the cost of ads here, We need about 23 customers to get Amazon working with ads. And this is the red line. The yellow here is Google and ads. So the cost of Google seems a bit too good to be true. So let's use the Amazon figures as a worst case in this scenario. So about the conclusion here. With about 23 customers, we can spend about $3 a day on ads. We can host it on Amazon, and we can sell it for about $5. That should give us a break even. Now, how do we find them? Those willing to pay $5 a month for a service they can get for free on other services. Something is missing here. Is there a way to reduce the cost? We might perhaps host this on our own server. This will give me more work handling security issues and maintenance. We might also go to serverless, but that will mean a re-implementation of the function. Also, the data costs are the biggest, and they will be the same. We could also perhaps look into a no-code implementation of the function, but we don't know what the cost of that will be. But anyway we turn, we can't reduce the cost below zero. And finally, is there a unique functionality or corner of the market where we could provide value comparing to this $5? Whatever it is, I haven't really figured it out yet. So is the market too saturated for this function? I would say yes. So if you want a copy of SMAF, do send me a DM on Instagram. And what will be the next step for this function? I haven't really made up my mind yet. Should we go into the Django implementation and extend it with this value function? Or should we try out a no-code implementation just for the fun of it? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. I'll see you in the next video.